Seida Saric. It's such a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for taking out the time for meeting myself and Belma today. Firstly, could you tell us a little bit about the organisation Women for Women, and in particular Zene, based in Bosnia?
Of course. First of all, let me thank you for inviting me to be part of this activity and this interview and sharing our experience with others. Zene, or as you said, Zene in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we call ourselves as well Women for Women, so we can continue in that way. We started our work in 1993, and it was actually as respond to women who were survivors of the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We as Zene are member of Women for Women International Global Network, which is right now based in Washington, D.C. And that's actually how whole that entire global network started, because of the suffering of the women from Bosnia and Herzegovina. That was just a couple. Zene and her husband wanted to help, and actually it is initiative of two of them. And today it is the organization which works globally, works in Europe, in Bosnia and Kosovo, working in Asia, in Afghanistan and Iraq, and working in Africa, in Congo, Sudan, Nigeria and Rwanda. So yeah, you can...
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, there's so many countries there that have been mentioned. A lot of these places, I think, predominantly have been affected by war.
That is actually the strategy of the goal of the organization is actually to work with women in the area after the war or during the war.
Okay, so it's not just women or areas that are underprivileged. It's mainly the focus is.
Yes, I mean, there is so huge, lots of problems around the world. So we tried really to prioritize and to see where we can focus, and decision of Women for Women is actually to focus and work with women who are overcoming war period and being in post-conflict, and that's kind of speciality or the focus of Women for Women.
So actually, could I ask, why is it that women in particular were focused on, obviously the organisation is focused on women, but it could have been called People for People or something like that. So women here have a very, very strong sort of presence and identity. So why was it women in particular?
Because when it started, it's the name that we started to use from the whole beginning, and that was because Zene, the founder of the Zene, who is the founder of the organization, she actually started with a group of her friends, and it was, we are women and we do want help to women in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's how it started, and we liked that name, and till today we use that name, and we believe that that name is actually completely showing what is our goal really to do. And also we promote definitely women's leadership as well. We even in our offices where we are working. So it is organization which is completely and broader focused on women and trying and helping women to have better life and better position in the society, better position leaders, etc., etc.
I mean, I know expanding from that, what difference do you think that microfinance has made to Bosnia and Herzegovina as a whole?
Huge. I definitely believe that it's huge impact. As I said, right now as we are talking, we have actively more than 400,000 clients who are actively having money in their hands and developing their businesses, live because of that money. And I mean, very often when I go to field, I speak with people and I ask them, so tell me, what would you like maybe to change? And usually it's like interest rate and repayment rate. And I said, okay, great. If you didn't tell me that, I would think it's something wrong.
Okay.
But when I ask them, so what would you do if you don't have loan? They would say, oh, please don't even mention that. There is no way. That's how important it is. Because commercial banks don't have friendly procedures for people who do not have official work. And being in the country as Bosnia is, where we lost industry, people don't work. We have to be focused on ourselves, on the family, and people have to start their businesses just to survive, not to develop and have great business, which is of course happening, but it's not very often. But at the same time, we are talking about ordinary people who need money to live, just to have decent life, you know, to give food your children, to send your children to school, you know, to have something that, I mean, that's huge impact. It's huge impact. And also,
So what do you see for women in the future? How can you see what do you see for the future?
I see for the future really that we will, right now for Žene za žene in Bosnia, or Women for Women in Bosnia, right now we are working and creating strategy of development of opportunity center for women, which will be the place where we will where women will have opportunity to get different services.
Right.
Of course, it includes for sure business education and marketing as education, which is the most lacking skills that we are having here as a nation, but very specifically for women that we are working with. So that opportunity center should be based in Sarajevo because it's the biggest place and that's the place where women are having the most opportunities to either sell their products or to get some very specific kind of education. But it's like center where we are targeting to have thousands of women that will get assistance in that center.
Sounds absolutely